Good morning. This is Bill from out of Europa, Naples on a lovely Florida Tuesday. The weather is actually quite nice this morning. And I have today one of the finest examples of E350 Cabriolet that I've seen in a very long time. In fact, I thought I had a nice one last week, but then I got this thing and I realized that that one is really a turd compared to how nice this car is. So anyway, we'll try not to tell the people who bought it. But anyway, it's finished in a very classic black outside. It's got a two-tone black and satin interior that's absolutely gorgeous. AMG Sport Package, driver assistance package, really good options on the car, and a stunner to look at. And the overall cosmetic and mechanical condition of this car just absolutely sets it apart from the crowd. I mean, I bought it at a collector car auction, obviously paid more for it than I would have liked, but I thought it was worth it because you just don't see this level of condition on these cars as they're coming in on trade. Somebody who really loved cars owned this car, and you can really see the difference it makes. This was the first generation W212 E-Class. It returned the coupe and convertible to the E-Class range. For the prior decade, that had been taken over by the CLK, which, this is essentially the same platform as the CLK. There's people out there who argue that this is a C-Class. Nobody's going to actually, forgive me, this E350, nobody's going to argue that, but they did argue that on the CLK, even though it was virtually identical. But like the CLK, this is a true E-Class Mercedes with the price tag and the equipment to follow suit. And it is a terrific vehicle. Again, the condition of this thing and the options. You see the chrome inserts on the door handles, the AMG Sport Package with those beautiful twin-spoke alloys, the condition of like the brake rotors. There's no curb rash. The condition of the paint is phenomenal. This is just the cleanest piece I've seen in a long time. Now, 13 saw the introduction of the modern current V6 motor, while it still retained the styling of the original W212 with what I think are the better looking headlights. Other people may disagree, and in fact I disagree with myself sometimes. I quite like the headlights on the new ones periodically. But anyway, it's undeniable that this thing looks great. This series of E-Class was also an answer to the prior one where people complained that it wasn't quite up to the fit and finish of Mercedes-Benz, the equipment list of Mercedes-Benz, and that they had to up their game. And for this W212, they certainly did. So without wasting any time, I'm going to show you the condition of the soft top real quick, which is stellar. Very often you see all kinds of weird bunchy crap on the sides of the windows. You see this all bent up, sometimes at the top. This has absolutely none of that. I think the guy who owned this thing probably didn't use the top very much at all. In fact, I've sold these cars to a very nice local gentleman. I won't name any names. His name's Pat. Very nice guy. But he is terrified to run the soft top down on any Mercedes I've sold him. And he'll only buy convertibles, which is quite strange, because he doesn't want to wrinkle them. So I suspect that a guy like Pat owned this one. Anyway, if we want to run the top down, you can take this key and you can press and hold the unlock button while aiming it at the door handle. Down go the windows, up comes the top and the back, up comes that very nifty tonneau cover. Full automatic, releases from the front and rear, and down it goes. I'll stop real quick so you can see the insulation and engineering that's put into this top. Mercedes-Benz, to make this a soft top convertible, wanted it to be as good as having a fixed roof, and as such they put in thick insulation. They spent probably a few hours engineering the fit and finish of it, the weather stripping, the way it all goes together to absolutely minimize to the point of non-existence wind noise, weather incursion, any of that kind of stuff. I'll have a look. I guess we'll start in the trunk as usual. Sport package, you get this little lip spoiler, which is quite nice. This also is keyless go, so you don't really need to use the keys. Okay, back here you've got pretty good room for what you need. Now this is with the top down. With the top up, you can reclaim all this space right here, and it becomes a pretty damn useful trunk area. That's why we sell a bunch of these things as Florida condo cars, where it will become people's only car to have down here, and they have to be able to take another couple out to dinner or pick people up at the airport, and this E-Class will do it. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the utility of an SUV, but in terms of four-seat convertibles, it's pretty great. You see it's got the original first aid kit there, everything a wounded German might need. You've got the little infant containment net, so you're not getting an infant over here unless he's really tiny. This one you might, but it had too much space on the top. I think he's probably going to paw his way out. Underneath this floor here, if I can pick it up, there is the spare tire, toolkit, gloves, everything you need to call AAA when you get a flat. And otherwise, everything nice and lovely under there. Have a look under the hood. Look at that, it's already beeping at me. I've done nothing, and it beeped at me. A little warning beep to let me know that there are more beeps to come. Okay, new for 2013 is this direct injection 3.5 liter V6. Now, Mercedes-Benz really did a nice job with this car in putting this engine in it, because it has now 302 horsepower, which is the precise exact horsepower of the previous 500 motor that ran all the way through the 2000s. The very, very same. So you've got basically V8 power out of this direct injection V6. But using the technology that they did, they managed to up the fuel economy from the prior V6. So you really do get to have your cake and eat it too when it comes to this thing. You got all the torque, all the horsepower you could want out of a V6. You've got a smooth shifting 7-speed automatic that's fantastic. And at the same time, you get terrific fuel mileage. So they really did a nice job. The only complaint I have about the direct injection is it's kind of a ticky fuel system that with the hood up, you can hear. It's sort of a tick, 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 tick. All these DI cars do it. You know, it's fine. When you're in the car, hood down, you'll never hear any of it. But Porsche actually came up with a second set of injectors for idle just to get rid of that direct injection sound. And even though it's a very expensive solution, I kind of wish Mercedes had done the same. But, you know, probably would have added another few grand to the price. So it is what it is. Anyway, they do insulate everything nice so you don't hear it. And it is a terrific engine in this car. The condition, stellar, everything nice. This thing's never been up north or brutalized, none of the salty stuff. And if it was down here, and maybe it has been up north, I don't know, it could have been. Definitely never on a salty road though. And if it was down here, it was never anywhere near the sea or you know, kept outside. Absolutely none of that. It's show car quality, this thing. Even the paint, which is tough on black. This trim has a way of degrading on a lot of these cars. If you're shopping these things, look closely at this aluminum anodized trim, and you'll see the vast majority of them have water spots, acid rain spots, stuff that's very, very difficult to get off, if not impossible. This, none of it. Almost looks like it was just brand new, and that's a rarity in E350 cabriolets that I haven't seen. Everyone that's come in has had that stuff water spotted, so it's really nice to see how it can look. I also do like the chrome. It's a bit gaudy, I don't know. I mean, it's not like having 22-inch wheels or anything, but the chrome inserts, they do look nice contrasting with the black. Again, this does have keyless go, so I can lock it by pressing that little rectangle, open it just by putting my hand on the door handle. All right, now here's where this particular car shines. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got everything in black, the dash, the carpet, the trim, the center console, you know, most of the door panels, and then you've got these beautiful saddle inserts that go into it. So you've got the saddle in the middle of the door panels, you've got it on the tops of the seats, and beautiful rich Napa leather. I haven't touched this thing with leather medic or any kind of leather care. It is exactly the way we got it, and it's just exceptional. Whoever owned this thing was very gentle and ginger with it. It does have the optional orthopedic seats. You see all the controls there. Nice stuff. Big chunky chrome door handle or seat handle to pull this thing forward and give you access for your Canadians in the back, who are going to be chipper enough. You get two little bucket seaty things back there. The traditional Mercedes rolling wood console to give you cup holders. You got a little armrest there, and by the way, a pass-through to the trunk for your sniper rifle. So everything is very nice and proper in the back. Absolutely lovely. And like this big chrome seat handle, this was a response to people complaining about the low quality materials in the prior E-Class. These seats are also quite fancy. You can see what says Neck Pro. I don't even know what that sounds like, but anyway, this thing is designed to protect you in the event of calamity. Works really well. Ditto back here, these headrests will double as a roll bar, which work quite neat. They pop up and otherwise bring up a little I don't know, windscreen to, you know, cut down wind noise and stuff, but there's a ton of safety built into this car. These are speakers, hilariously, so if you want to share your music with the people around you with the top down, shouldn't be too hard with those. Over here you've got your power seat controls, you know, your 83-way power seats with memory, your lock and unlock, your power windows and mirrors. Down low there you've got a trunk release, and all very nice stuff. So let's hop in, fire it up, and see what we got. Keyless go. All we have to do is foot on the brake, tap this guy, fires right to life. Very, very nice. And you can see over here it presents the seatbelt to me. Those are called the seatbelt presenters. And a little stalk comes out to make it easy for you to grab the belt. And that's a feature an old guy with tired arms will appreciate, like me. Okay, I do love the dark wood in this car. I believe it's bird's eye maple, but someone might correct me, but it's nice. I love the wood and leather steering wheel with the little grippities on the 10 and 2. You got multi-function stuff. You've got tilt and telescopic power there. You've got a very nice instrument cluster with the driver information center in the middle. You see just 59K on this thing. You got your fuel, your clock, your speedometer, your tachometer, and of course your water temp. And if you go through the center thing here, you can get into your navigation, your audio, your Bluetooth, different options like blind spot, lane assist, and go through all your different stuff to make yourself happy. Being the sport package, you also get the little flippities on the steering wheel to shift through the gears. You got your wipers down here, your cruise control here in classic Mercedes style. Also your automatic headlights. Over here you got no stalks at all. This side you have Mercedes-Benz COMAND unit, cockpit management and data system. That gives your navigation, very, very nice. Gives you your rear camera, all very lovely. Your Bluetooth telephone, also Bluetooth audio. I think if we go up here with the joystick, we can show that. Yeah, there's all the different AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth audio, auxiliary, all kinds of stuff there. You know, whatever you need to entertain yourself. So, all very lovely stuff. Down here, this little button is cool. Now, if you forgot to put on your seatbelt because you're sitting there writing a text message to your wife that you're going to be late to get home because you've got to go get a massage somewhere, and you know, these seatbelt retractors will pull it back in after a short time. So you didn't get your belt on, you missed your shot. All you have to do is press that, and it's going to send out that seatbelt presenter again for you to put on. These are direct access buttons for the COMAND unit, your radio, your telephone, your Navi, your all that sort of stuff. Direct access for the radio, volume knob, which is nice and simple. Down here you have your heated seats. This is air scarf, it's called. So if I press this over here on these little vents, it's going to emanate sort of a warm air coming out of that thing. That's quite nice if you're out at night and, you know, 65-degree weather, but you want the top down. That's going to keep you comfortable. Over here you can see we've got our blind spot assist. There's the little yellow triangle in the mirror. It's a self-dimming mirror. When you've got a car in your blind spot, that's going to light up red to let you know that you shouldn't change lanes. You also get over here, you can see that little, looks like a car with ski poles on either side of it. That's going to light up green as you're going down the road when it finds your lane, and it's going to keep you in your lane. It'll do a little massage thing on your rump and shake the wheel a little bit, let you know if you're, you know, getting out of your lane, tell you to pull over, get some coffee, and look like crap. you know, try treating yourself a little better, eating well, live a better life, for God's sake. Live up to the car. And anyway, that's a very nice safety feature. Of course, you also get brake assist, you get ESP traction control, you get all kinds of stuff to keep you safe in this car. Down here you have your dual side automatic climate control. Pull it off of auto if you want to run the fan yourself. You know, works great. You get a little ashtray here. Nobody's ever smoked in. I never checked that. That was dangerous. I could have been a heavy smoker, but anyway, it's a true ashtray. So if you're a smoker, and this rare smoker in these days, you're set. Nice little leather and wood shift knob, lovely. Here's the joystick for your command unit. You can see by twisting it, I'm zooming in on the nav. You can also move it up, down, left, right, and that you know, will move various features around here, and push down to accept. So they go to sat radio, and we've got our preview there, what have you. Anyway, works nice. It has a back button and a clear button. In here are your top controls. This is all neat stuff. Let's say I press this one. This is part of that air scarf. Now you can see up comes this weird little projection thing with a net at the top of the header panel. And what that will do is really keep the wind buffeting down to an absolute minimum. So with that and that little net back there, it's going to be nice and quiet inside this car as you're driving around. This will run all 4 windows at once, and this runs the top, which we'll do in a second. In here you've got your you know, iPod and auxiliary inputs. Nice little place to put a compact 9mm. You also get a glove box over there if you need a bigger gun. All right, up here, self-dimming rearview mirror with home link, all your light controls, all very nice stuff. To run the top, we can press, I tell you what, I'm gonna do it with the key just for the hell of it. So let me shut this car off, open it up, and let's give this a quick go. Oh, we already did run the top, didn't we? We ran it down. We started with the top up. All right, the hell with it. I'm gonna run the car with the top down, with the wind stuff deployed, so we can see how good it does on the buffeting. Let's get that back on again. And my little presenter is back. I have to say, they really did make these e-cabs nice and easy to live with. Let's get into sport or something. You see we're in the E over here, a little green E. Press that again, we're in sport. I think we're gonna stick with sport. Hell with it. Let's get some music on as well. What do we got here? Go into FM 102.9. Elton John. Great musician. Can't deny that. Now we got a dumpster coming in, so let's go the other way. There you see our self-test on the lane assist. I'm sitting a little bit low. Somebody has the seat all the way down. I'm just a little guy. Get our steering wheel up as well. All right, so of course the E350, the E-Cabriolet, is it's an eternal car for Mercedes with tremendous collectability. Certainly not this generation yet, but every E-Class convertible that's come out has been desired by collectors for many, many years. This is going back decades. They've gone into really 6-figure cars now, if you're going back into the 60s. You know, will this one do the same? Who knows? Who knows what constitutes a collector car in the age of mass production like this, but I guess we'll see. It does have rack and pinion steering. It's electric. It feels nice. But, you know, part of that modern thing we talked about where, you know, it's sort of a modern engineered steering feel that isn't the same as the past where you had this direct connection to the vehicle. We got a little bit of wheel spin. Nice. But, you know, it's not what people want now anyway. They want this sort of engineered feel that, you know, keeps them, I don't know. Are they connected to the road? I guess they're connected enough. So, but of course you get your airbags, you get your safety, you get your brake assist, you get your collision warnings, you get your pre-safe. you know, all the stuff that keeps you incredibly well protected in a very dangerous world of idiot drivers out there. So, you know, while I prefer the stuff that gives you this direct connection to the car, there's absolutely no argument that in the world we live in, these modern cars do it better in terms of keeping you safe from the rest of the world. The brakes feel exceptional. The steering feels nice. You know, the wind noise, again, with this little pop-up thing is at a minimum. And this is just a lovely way to get around. It really is. Let me drop back a little bit so I can give it a hammer kick down. This is, I mean, again, out of that V6, they are getting V8 torque and horsepower, which is pretty friggin' cool. Anyway, I'm not going to carry on and on. This is 2013 Mercedes-Benz E350 Cabriolet. You can see it on our sales site at www.aenaples.com. It's the best one I've seen in a long, long time in terms of condition, upkeep, even in the way that it looks, the way it was ordered, the colors, the equipment. This thing is a champion, an absolute champion. If you have an interest, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you with another one soon. Take care.